Darling, you send me, I know you send me, darling.
Welcome back to Jog Vlog, welcome back to the channel. The day that you're watching this, it was supposed to be the original date for the Great Manchester Run, and that was the race that I signed up for in March, just kind of like on a whim as a way to build up my confidence again to start running after different injuries, and it was also the main reason why I started this YouTube channel in the first place. The date has been pushed back to the 6th of September, so I'm kind of treating that as it will go ahead. It might not go ahead, but no matter what, I'm training for that date, and if the race goes ahead or not, I'm still going to be running a timed 10k that day, like doing it virtually or whatever. The past few weeks with my running, I think I've been consistent with it now for about 4 weeks, and it's felt amazing. It's felt amazing to start building up the mileage again, to be running further than I've ever ran before, and it kind of got me thinking about how I've actually managed to do it, how I've managed to overcome an injury so quickly that was so painful, and also managed to better my running and to build more confidence with my running as well. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 tips which I've come up with, which have helped me with my running, which have built on my confidence and made me a better runner after injury. The first point is the most obvious point, but also the most ignored point, and also the most important point is rest. I'm definitely guilty of this, and I'm sure so many other people are guilty of this, but when I realised that I had an injury back in March, I pushed through it, I ran through it, and it just got worse and worse, which meant I was out for even longer than I probably would have been if I'd have rested. It's definitely annoying having an injury, especially when I had a race to train for and I knew I only had like 2 months to train for it. So the first run that I went on, that was kind of when things started to flare up, and because in my head I wanted to try and run every single day as well, the more I ran on it, it just got worse and worse, and it became even more frustrating. And well, yeah, rest is important. Rest is key, and the earlier you rest, the quicker you'll recover and the quicker you'll get back to your running. Point number 2 is accept and adapt and focus on what you can do and not what you can't do. When I realised that I was injured again, I got really upset. Like, it really brought me down, and I just got to that point again where I was like, running isn't for me. I don't like running, even though I knew I did. And all these negative thoughts just started to just explode in my head, and it just wasn't very good. Like, I became very negative, I became very sad, I became very frustrated, and I don't know, I just didn't feel good. But eventually I kind of learned that accepting things and adapting to the situation was going to be the only way that I could overcome these negative thoughts. So I did lots of walking. So in April I managed to do 100k of walking. I cycled a little bit, I did bits of CrossFit, I did core, all this kind of stuff that would benefit me not only physically but also mentally as well. It's definitely easy to become caught up in injuries and to kind of let the whole thing overcome you, and just, I mean, we were in lockdown as well. It wasn't like I could go to the gym or anything. Like, it was just a bad time to be in. So I think the biggest lesson I have learned out of all of this is just accepting the situation, because there's nothing you can do about it. Like, no matter what, you're going to be injured and you can't run, and the more you run, the worse it gets, the longer you're out. And yeah, just accept the situation, adapt to the situation, and take the time to figure out what you can do and what you enjoy doing whilst you're trying to recover from this injury. My third point is focus on what you can improve. So I sat down, took the time to kind of look at my form, look at where my foot was kind of going, to see if my form was the reason why my shoulder hurt or why my ankles hurt last year. And I wrote down different kind of ways to improve this, and I watched a lot of YouTube videos, I read a lot, and I realised there was some things that I could change with my running that would benefit me in the future. In the first few videos I uploaded, you could probably see that my foot kind of swings out a little bit, my posture isn't great, and there's a lot of things that I could improve, and a lot of things that I'm trying to improve now, and because of that, I definitely think that my running is getting a lot better. Another thing that I could have improved is my shoes. You can see in the videos how old my shoes are. I've had them for a year, and I've not really done that many miles in them or anything like that, but they are old, like they're worn out, and you're supposed to change your running shoes quite regularly, like every 400k or something like that. So I took the time to research the best shoes for injury, for overpronation and all that kind of stuff, and I bought some new shoes. I bought these, and the reason I bought these is because these were specifically designed to reduce the chance of injury, and I've only ran 5k in them. Like, this is like they're completely brand new. And to put things into perspective, when I ran in these the other day, I beat 3 personal bests. So buy new shoes. Another thing that I definitely didn't do when I used to run was stretch and warm up, and that was the lazy side of me, I think. Like, I just didn't really, I don't know, I just left the house and ran. I came back and just sat there and just it's just not good. Make sure you stretch, make sure you warm up, because if you don't do that, the chances of injury are a lot higher than if you were to do that. If you do these 3 points, you're going to get to the point where you can start running again. So point number 4 is start off slow. That could be just running a K, that could be doing like a walking for 5 minutes, running for a minute, walking for 5 minutes, running for a minute, and just gradually just start increasing your strength, your fitness again, and don't rush into it. Because I think one of the biggest reasons why I was injured back in March was because even though I hadn't ran for a year, I had been going to the gym. So I was a lot fitter than I would have been if I hadn't done anything for a year. So the first run that I did back was a 5k run, and obviously my body just wasn't used to that, and essentially that's the reason why I got injured. So yeah, just take your time, don't rush into it, just gradually just start increasing the miles again and building the strength again, and eventually you will be able to get to that point where you can start running a lot more. And yeah. So my 5th point and my final point relates to the 4th point, and that is progress when you're ready. So instead of just thinking, right, I feel great, I'm gonna go and do like a 10k run, I'm gonna do a 15k run, 10-mile run, just don't, because you're already increasing the chance of injury and you could be out long again. And just don't get carried away with it. Be patient, and eventually, and probably quicker than you think, you're going to be able to start running long distance again. So at the minute I'm currently base training, so I'm building up like the miles and building up my fitness and my endurance and all that kind of stuff. So on my long run days every week, I'm trying to increase the run by like 1 to 3k, and then I'm making sure that I'll either do a recovery run the day after, or if I'm too sore, I'll take a couple of days out and then start building up towards the end of the week during my easy runs. I think the most important thing to take away from this whole video is to listen to your body and only do things when you know that you're ready to do it. Because if you push through things, if you run really far, really quickly and all that kind of stuff, you're not going to recover, and you're not going to be getting to the places you want to be quickly. You just need to take your time, listen to your body, and don't be stupid. We're all definitely really guilty of being frustrated with ourselves, being frustrated that we can't do the things that we want to do. But we know that if we actually just take the time to recover and to do things properly, and to do things like warming up and stretching, and to do things where you can do alternatives that will keep your fitness levels high, you're going to get there, and you're going to get there quickly because you've done the right thing. I'm definitely no expert whatsoever at any of this, but I do know that with this particular injury, with this particular comeback, I've done quite well. Like, I've only been running for like 4 weeks now, and I've managed to run the longest I've ever ran. I've managed to already beat personal bests, and I think that's all down to just listening to my body, being patient, and just doing my research, because running means a lot to me, and I know how frustrating it can be to be out for a long time, because I was out for a year. And yeah, just these 5 points personally helped me, and I think they can help anyone. And I hope that some of you take something away from this video, if any of this video makes sense, because this is the first video where I've like just sat and spoke to the camera about how I'm feeling or what I'm thinking. Whew. So yeah, rest, accept and adapt, figure out what you could be doing wrong, where you could improve, start off slow and progress when ready. That's the 5 points that I personally think will help you come back from injury and quickly. But you know, injury is something that these little aches and pains is something that you're always going to experience as a runner, and it is just important to accept that and to listen to your body, be patient, and you will get there. You will probably come back stronger as well if you put these 5 points into place. So yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Also, if you've got any advice or any tips, or you want to expand on anything that I've said, then feel free to comment in the comment thing below, because it'll be cool to like help other people and to kind of create like this little community where we can all just share our tips with injury, because Jog Vlog is about injury kind of and coming back from injury, and now I'm rambling on too much, and well, yeah, you get it. You get the point. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next Jog Vlog.
Darling, you